I'm smoking the Lee Van Cleef Mirror with Maltese Falcon. You know why? Because it's Monday, and it's January 29th, and it's National Curmudgeon's Day. So all y'all just sit down, dadgummit. And thanks to Smarty Bob for reminding me. Happy Monday to you, if such a thing exists. Elbow shot. My name is Mudge. Been 3 weeks since my last confession. Whatever. Maybe you're asking yourself, where have you been? Maybe you're not. I don't care. But there has been lots going on. About 3 weeks ago, matter of fact, probably the day that I last did a Monday with Mudge, Miss Lee had come down with the flu. Missed a couple of days' work. And being the lovely, giving person that she is, along about Friday of that week, she said, "My dear, wonderful, lovely husband, I would love for you to have this. Here, you have the flu too." So I started getting hyped up on Mucinex and Theraflu. I don't think it ever actually went into flu. Mine was more of a severe cold, but while I'm hyped up on Mucinex and Theraflu, she decided to take advantage of me. Dadgummit. And not in a way that I prefer. She decided that she would take advantage of me by suggesting and encouraging that we go trade our vehicle. And as you might remember, we had a Honda CRV, pretty common color, and there were a few times that she tried to ride off with other people by getting into the wrong vehicle, as it looked like ours. So we, on that Saturday 2 weeks ago, go and we trade our Honda CRV for a new to us Toyota RAV4, black. Beautiful vehicle, low mileage, 2021 make. Bring that home on that Saturday night, and we've been enjoying it. Well, 3 days later, we had to go run errands. And we go into a store together, and we come out. And I get in our vehicle. And she gets in and sits down in a Toyota Highlander that's parked right next to us. I mean, I got in the daggum thing, sat in the seat, and didn't realize she was in the wrong vehicle until she noticed they had an in-car camera and ours doesn't have that. So whoever owned this Toyota Highlander probably got a really nice chuckle about some crazy lady getting into their dadgum vehicle. She was so embarrassed, it was funny. Whatever. Now we all crazy. You know, she's not having any kind of cognitive stuff. She just wasn't paying attention and went and got into the black Toyota Highlander instead of the black Toyota RAV4. I think she's trying to leave me. I mean, after a while, it's not an accident anymore, right? I didn't have to say anything to her. When she realized that it was the wrong car, she hopped right out and came over to ours. I love her. She ain't leaving me unless I go with her. And then last week, we're all well now. My son got it. He's well now. And then last week, my dad started having health issues again. My dad's a diabetic. He only has 8 toes because he lost 2 of them due to the diabetes. And now he's on the verge of dropping down to 7 toes because he got another one that's infected. So this past Friday, I spent the majority of the day at the VA hospital in the emergency room, where they did, at the end of the day, decide to admit him. So he was there Friday through Saturday, and I went back yesterday to pick him up. And what I found out, not surprisingly, is that apparently my dad is the guy that people end up regretting having to share a room with. And y'all think I'm cantankerous. He's cantankerous. He's lived alone for over 50, or right at 50 years. Never got remarried. I don't want to say he's selfish necessarily, but he can be very self-focused. He sometimes gets to this place where he's not really concerned about what he does as far as it relates to bothering other people. So I get there yesterday, and he is, the VA only has semi-private rooms, so you don't have any private rooms. It's yourself and another veteran, and the room is only separated by some thin curtain, so you can hear everything that anybody else is doing. So I got there yesterday, and the gentleman who is in the room, he and his wife are there, and he needed an x-ray, and they brought in the radiologist came and brought in a mobile x-ray machine. And the radiologist comes in, and he says, y'all may want to walk outside while I do this, because there's a smaller amount of radiation that you're going to be exposed to. Dad's sitting on the edge of the bed. And I said, okay, that's fine, no problem. The wife was already out in the hallway, and I said, come on, Dad, let's go out here for a minute while they do this. And he just looked at me. And I could tell by the way he looked at me that he just didn't want to get up. I said, Dad, we need to go in the hall so they can do this x-ray for this gentleman. He just kept looking at me. I said, okay, fine, you sit there, I'm going in the hallway. So I'll go out in the hallway, and I'm talking to the wife, very nice lady. And the first thing she says to me is, he can be a handful, can't he? What did he do now? I said, ma'am, you don't know the half of it. It can be 2 handfuls. She said, yeah, his when he gets upset, he doesn't hold back on his person. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I know this about my dad because when I was with him in the ER Friday night, when things weren't going the way he wanted them to go, or going as fast as he wanted them to go, he would go to cussing pretty bad. Now, I'm no prude, but there are some words that I do not tolerate, mainly as it relates to my faith. So he likes to take the Lord's name in vain, and I got all over top of him. I said, I don't tolerate that. You can pretty much say just about anything, but when you go there, I got a problem. So you need to stop. And he did, and he apologized. So apparently Friday night, after they got him into the room with this gentleman and his wife, Dad is 79, and I'll try to keep this as sanitary as possible, but he began having bathroom issues. Now, there's a shared bathroom. So instead of calling for help, as he was supposed to do, he just kept getting up and pretty much soiling the place. They had to shower him down. They had to put him in the daggum shower. Now, he couldn't help it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not mad at him for any of that. I'm mad at him I'm not mad at him anyway, but he just doesn't handle things well. And this was even before he started having his old people problems. He's always been like this. And then Saturday night, apparently, he got restless and kept getting up out of the bed trying to change his pants, and he couldn't get done what he wanted to do, so he'd go to cussing. So I apologized. I said, "Man, I'm so sorry you had to put up with that. I got on him on Friday." And she was very nice. But you could tell they were all right with him being discharged. Yeah, dumb old people. Killing. So that's where I've been. That's what I've been doing. What I've been dealing with. He's back in his living facility. And you could tell in the living facility, some of the other residents that I've talked to, they really like him. They just love him. Think he's, the best thing since toast. But you can also tell that some of the employees of the facility don't exactly see him that way. I've been told he'll go up and down the hall sometimes dropping profanity. And if he ain't careful, he's going to have to find somewhere else to live. Dadgummit. Anyway. Miss Lee is still here. She's not leaving me unless I go with her. So, anyway. Hope y'all have a happy Monday. I don't care. Till I see you again, you folks be well. Be humble. Be grateful for all that you have. I'll see you again soon.